I have a super quick birthday card that I'm going to show you how to make with your Imagine. This is great if you have a last minute birthday and you've got to whip out a card pretty quickly. So we're going to use this Imagine More cards cartridge, and one of the very first cuts in here is this birthday one. So we're going to use that one. What I'm going to do is we're going to use our Gypsy. If you've zoom in. If you've loaded or updated your Imagine and your Gypsy, you'll actually be able to design your images on your Gypsy now for your Imagine. I don't see any difference in functionality from the Imagine versus the Gypsy, so I still see no welding or anything like that. I'd love to be able to weld, but I don't see how to do that quite yet. So we're going to click on our Imagine icon, and it's going to open this up, and we're going to hit print and cut because we're going to want to print and cut, and we're going to select our cartridges. You can load your cartridges on here. You actually stick your cartridge in your Imagine and then connect your Gypsy to it, and it will use the Imagine to put the cards on here. So far I've only put 2 of my cartridges on here and just kind of putting them on as I'm doing projects right now. We're going to use this Imagine More cards. It does take a little while for things to load. The very first icon is the one that we're going to be using. It's this Happy Birthday one, and we're going to click on this pencil to edit it. And I'm going to want to break this image apart. So to do that, you hit the Layers button, and once that highlights, then all of these pieces will be available for me to use. We're going to leave all the colors the same. We're not going to change any of that, so I'll hit apply, and that'll add those to my mat. And I'm going to want to get rid of the candle. To do that, you just click. I want to get rid of this cake top too, so just click on it and then hit this minus, which will remove it from your mat. Anything up in the dock here is what's going to be put on your mat, and I want to leave these the same. Oh, and one other thing I need to show you is, let me click on this and hit the edit button once again. I set the size on these to 3, real size 3. So I just wanted to show you that before we go and cut it. So that's it, super simple. I'm just going to use those 3 cuts. I'm going to click on next, and then it automatically puts them on my mat. All I have to do is load a plain white cardstock on my mat and then put that into my Imagine and hook my Gypsy up, and then click next and follow the directions from there. So I'm going to go and cut this out, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so here are my pieces cut out. Let's go ahead and assemble our card. So I have a piece of pink cardstock that is 10 inches by 4 3/4, and all I did was fold that in half, and then I took my Zutter corner rounder, which is a 1/2 inch, and went and rounded all 4 corners. If you have a corner chopper or something else, that's good. And then I took my white jelly roll and I faux stitched around the edges of it. So next I want to add my mat to this, and for my mat I have picked pattern paper, and this comes from a DCWV stack called the Green Stack, and it's actually made out of recycled paper. But in here there is this brown paper, and I just used that to cut a piece out. And that piece is 4 1/4 by 4. So that's 4 1/4 by 4, and that'll sit on like that. But before I go and glue that down, I wanted to put some ribbon on it, and I'm going to put this lacy see-through ribbon on it that I got from the dollar store for $1. So we're going to want to put that right down the center of it. So it's going to go like this. So a trick to getting this centered properly is actually to use one of these mats, and this happens to be a Martha Stewart cutting mat, but it has these grids on it and it makes it easy. So if I put this on here and then I find the center and then make sure that my ribbon's going up and down the center, that actually makes it a little bit easier for that to be put on straight. So all I'm going to do is use my ATG and glue down these edges a little bit. Oh, one thing I didn't mention is when you're cutting your Imagine images using the Gypsy, you will have to put your Imagine cartridge in the Imagine. We don't have to do that with our Expression, but the Imagine's requiring us to put our cartridges in before we can cut. Okay, so next I want to adhere this to my card's base. And I did have to ink the edges of this pattern paper because the back is white and you could see the white edges. So I took just some chalk by Studio G that I got from Michael's. That was a whole $1, and I inked up the edges on that. So that'll go on like that. So I'll put some ATG on the back of this. We'll go right over the ribbon. That way the ribbon sticks too. It doesn't move. And this is just going to go on here so that the ribbon goes up and down. Just going to line it up. And when I'm happy with it, I'll press down to make it seal. There we go. So next I want to assemble this piece, which is what I cut out with the Imagine. So we're going to want to glue this down. So again, I'll use my ATG. Just put some glue on this, some adhesive tape. Center that on there. Kind of like that. Actually, I think that needs to go off-centered. Here we go. And then I put some pop dots on my cake. And I don't know if you can see it, but I actually took my stickles and I added that to the flame of the candle so it looked like it was glowing. So we'll put this on next. I'm just going to put this in the middle of this. And I'm not going to press down until I'm sure it's where I want it to be. And then all we have to do is glue this to the top of this and we're all done. So I'm going to again use my ATG. Put some glue on here. And then this just goes right over the ribbon. Just like that. Perfect. Okay, so there you have it. A really quick card, birthday card, for those occasions when you have to whip one up real quick. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a great day.